What's up, everybody? Trinity here, and welcome back to the Second Street Marvel for yet another comic book review double feature. And today I am in my local comic book shop, Bases Cards and Comics, right here in Lancaster, California. And take a look at this place, man. It's awesome, right? Yeah, I know. Anyway, today what we're going to be talking about is Marvel's 2099 event. And like I said, it's a double feature that we're doing here today because I'm telling you, Marvel's not slowing down on their books, folks. We're going to be talking about 2099 Omega, or that's Omega, right? Yeah, Omega, and Amazing Spider-Man issue number 36. These are both tied into this 2099 event. Now, first we're going to start off with 2099 Omega. This book is being written by Nick Spencer. Gerardo Sandoval and Zay Carlos are the pencilers. Gerardo Sandoval, Victor Nava, and Zay Carlos are the inkers. Maury Hollowell, Brian Reber, and Andrew Crossley are the colorists, and VC's Joe Caramagna is the letterer. Patrick Gleason and Rochelle Rosenberg did the cover, and I'll show you those names right there because I may have butchered those. Hey, man, I'm not perfect, but and I'll show you that cover once again. Great cover, colors by Rochelle Rosenberg. I love Rochelle Rosenberg's colors. She knows what she's doing. You know what I'm saying? She's very good at it. I mean, I don't think I've seen anything bad by her yet. So this book right here, we're in 2099. Dealing with Miguel O'Hara and kind of the events that have been going on here, where he's been largely fighting back against Alchemax and some of the things that they've been doing, and with their God, what is it called? Like their public ops or the public eye? Isn't that what it's called? The public eye, which Doom has kind of taken things over after an attempt on his life back in Amazing Spider-Man issue number, God, what was that? Was that 30? Was that 34? 34, 33, 32? It was somewhere around there. It's hard to say at this point because it seems like this event it's kind of dragged on a little bit. I don't know. It could just be me. But basically what we find out here is we find out, in the last issue that we found out that Miguel O'Hara actually ended up bumping into himself, a future or an old version of himself at the very end of Doom 2099. And here, we see him kind of there dealing with himself, talking to himself, kind of basically enlightening himself about exactly what's been going on as the era of superheroes had come to an end, and just kind of his reality, the old man's reality, had come to an end. And Miguel O'Hara's was still intact, and he was trying to get him to the point where he could do something about it. And we get a little bit more flashbacks in this book of things that have happened throughout the story. Some of the 2099 books in here as well, as we see Miguel O'Hara trying to figure out exactly what's going on, as his brother had actually used this cloaking device to impersonate him, something that we had learned about in one of the previous issues. And Miguel O'Hara basically goes to Alchemax to confront his boss to kind of bring an end to the situation. And I don't know, but was it Miguel O'Hara? Or was it not? Like I said, his brother was using a cloaking device to basically impersonate him, which is kind of weird because this device kind of reminded me, like the little skull that Mystique has on her head, and it's, I don't know, some really weird things going on in this book. And I gotta be honest with you guys, and I'll show you some of the art here. I gotta say, largely, I'm kind of confused by it. Like, I don't really get what's going on here. And you guys, I like Nick Spencer's writing. Largely, I've really enjoyed The Amazing Spider-Man, but we can see that Miguel O'Hara does end up getting a little bit of closure here and kind of changing the future back into kind of more what it needed to be. But altogether, guys, I've got to tell you, largely, I haven't really liked this 2099 series. It's been like an absolute mess. They did a handful of one-shot tie-ins to this series, along with the Amazing Spider-Man, and you can see. Look at this list of books that they have there. They have there. I mean, God, what is there? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 books. 13 books that tie into this story, and I feel like I don't know what's going on here. The one shots didn't really feel like they built upon the story and drove the story forward, the narrative that's going on here. I don't feel like it drove the plot forward at all. It seemed like they were just like a bunch of one shots that were just kind of done all willy nilly, and I've got to say I'm pretty disappointed in this event. The best of this series that has come out was Doom 2099 that just came out last week. That book was actually really good, and there should be a review of that here on the channel already. But altogether, I gotta say, like, this book, I don't know. It didn't really give me any kind of closure. Not really a whole lot of things that made sense throughout this book. And maybe I don't know. Maybe I read it too fast. Maybe I just don't get it. Maybe I need to learn a little bit more about 2099 and what's going on here. But I mean, largely, I get what's going on with time travel and all of those kinds of things and how one thing affects the other. I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on with this event. And let me know if you guys have been keeping up with this 2099 event and if you read 2099 Omega down in the comments below. Now, the next one I'm going to talk about is Amazing Spider-Man issue number 36. Now, this is also a tie-in to this event. And, I think I may have read these actually out of order here because I think what was the reading order was... Omega 2099 Omega was supposed to come after Amazing Spider-Man, and maybe that might have helped tell this story a little bit better. But I doubt it. Okay, now Amazing Spider-Man issue number 36 is being written by Nick Spencer, Oscar Bazaldua is the artist. Steve Furchow is the colorist. VC's Joe Caramagna is the letterer. Tony Daniel and Edgar Delgado are the cover artists. I'll go ahead and show you those names because I'm pretty sure I butchered one of the gentlemen's names there. And I'll go ahead and show you this cover here. I like this cover. This is really great cover here. Really beautiful stuff. One thing I will say before I get into this, again, I like Nick Spencer's writing. Another thing, Marvel, if you guys ever watch this and you want to listen to somebody here, can we please just get one artist on Amazing Spider-Man? Can you just bring Ryan Ottley back on the Amazing Spider-Man and keep him on it? Because you've been rotating a lot of artists throughout this whole series since Nick Spencer's been writing it, and I gotta say, guys, it's not working out for me. It's not working out for me. Just keep Ryan Ottley on it. He does great art. It looks good in the book. He draws Spider-Man great. I don't know. I've got some nitpicks about the art that's been going on in this series overall altogether. So what we learned here in Amazing Spider-Man, and I gotta say largely I didn't like a whole lot of the art in this book as well. I'm not saying it's terrible. I'm just saying I myself don't like it. I'm not trying to talk bad about the artist or anything because the art, it's decent. It's just I don't like it. So what we learn in Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man is we've seen largely a lot of the story has just been going on in Amazing Spider-Man. So if you guys want to keep up with it, you're reading Amazing Spider-Man. That's all you got to read. Don't read the other tie-ins to this. What we learned is that Peter Parker basically come upon this device called the Clairvoyant. It ended up getting charged because that was the problem with it because he was working with somebody while he was at school at Empire State University. And it had this thing that kind of predicts the future, but it doesn't work that great because it needs a good power source. Miguel O'Hara ends up coming back into the past here in 2019, basically, and supercharges it. It starts to work again. That's pretty much really all that happens in this series. Aside from we see that Peter Parker was actually using the Clairvoyant, or Spider-Man, if you will, was using the Clairvoyant to seek out just like different scenarios of what was going on, as well as talking to what is her name that does the that talks about what's her name does all the for Miguel O'Hara, his AI. I can't remember. It probably says somewhere in here. I got to tell you, it really. It really don't matter because basically all he's doing is running scenarios through her and through the Clairvoyant to find different outcomes to hopefully beat Doom. And really, largely all it came out to is not outsmarting Doom, but appealing to his ego is really all that came about. And altogether, and we just get some more just odd things going on here in this book. I won't confess to know much about it. Silver Sable being visited by this character right here. I can't remember her name. Like I said, largely it seems unimportant because this tie-in series was handled really bad. I don't know what's going on here. Throughout all these books that have tied into here, and maybe that's just because they put too many in it, and none of them seem to serve the purpose of the story. I'm confused, and that's why I gotta say, the event has largely been a huge failure. It seems like this whole thing was basically, hey, we wrote a book, we drew a book, we printed a book, we sold a book. I'm assuming they sold some books here because, like I said, largely I don't know what's really going on with the story. It all seems confusing. You can really keep up with this event just by reading The Amazing Spider-Man. You don't have to read any of these tie-ins. But I don't know. That's just if you ask me, and I'm not saying that it's terrible. It's just I'm confused. I don't know what the hell's going on here. But let me know down in the comments below. Have you been keeping up with the $29.99 event? And if so, what have you thought about it? Do you think it's been good? I mean, let me know your thoughts. Like I said, it's not terrible. It just seems to me like I'm sitting here kind of like, what's going on here? But anyway, guys, that's all I have for this video today, folks. Thank you all so much for tuning in to the Second Street Marvel. If you haven't already, please make sure you subscribe, click the little bell, all that good stuff YouTube tells me to tell you to do that you already know how to do. And make sure you give this video a thumbs down or give it a thumbs up if you like it. It's up to you. But make sure that you share with a friend and invite them to come hang out with us here on the Second Street Marvel. You all have a very good day. Have a great rest of your week. Go out and support your local comic book shop, and we'll see you in the next video. Later.